Zero zero 5 6 0 1 0.
If I turn it this way,
Oh my god!
Prepare to be amazed by India's top mentalist and master of all things magic, Kunal Newar.
Scooter was also in Vegas when I went and saw a show, and the guy made a tiger disappear from the stage.
like I said, it's all an illusion. I can find out ways to read your mind. But am I going to do that? No. With great power comes great responsibilities.
We're all looking for magic in our lives. But today, on this episode, you will see magic in action. Kunal Newar is a mentalist, a magic consultant, and you would have often seen him talking to celebrities, teaching them tricks, and also completely blowing their mind, like he did to me today. On this episode, we decoded his work, learned about body language cues, and how you can read the room and often read minds. Well, for starters, he read mine, and if you're really curious about that, tune in and listen to the episode. But before that, just make sure you subscribe to the channel so we can get many more such guests and conversations to you. Yeah, great to have you, Kunal. I can't wait to actually have this conversation because mentalist is not a regular profession. It's something which always instills a lot of curiosity in most people, like it did for me, which is
course, yeah.
how does it work, how do you do the things you do, what does it really take in terms of skills. So we'll go through a lot of this, and I see you have a lot of things down there which I'm very very intrigued about, and I'm sure you will show us some interesting tricks as we go along.
Surely.
But before we get started, I really wanted to understand from you. You were just sharing with me right now that you had a regular job, you were in Pune, you grew up in Guwahati, you've done mechanical engineering. They're very regular path
Yeah.
of most adults, right? Like
Yeah.
you go down this very linear corporate path like I have. And so where at what point did you realize that this was your calling and this is what you really want to do in your life?
So basically, for that, I'll have to start from the very childhood,
Please.
from where I started. So this has been a craze since I can't even remember the age I was. I was around 8, 9 or 10 years old. So once I saw someone perform on television, at that time I did not even know what magic is. I just saw a person in suit coming in, taking two coat hangers and just tapping them and it links. Yeah.
Wow.
And that was like something different for me because logically if you think it won't link, right? So that time I didn't know what magic is, so I took two hangers and started jamming them. It didn't work. Of course it won't, right? And later on at one point, I don't remember if my mom or dad, someone got me a kit. Like there used to be melas and there used to be a lot of magic tricks. So got me a kit and I saw a lot of colorful stuff in there. I didn't know what those were. Then I think my dad read the manual and showed me something. I was like, oh, okay, this is magic. I started learning from there, and that craze, it started growing inside. Then whenever I used to go outside in the railway station, I used to see a lot of book publication books. I used to see magic books. Okay, used to get it and read it, and the craze started from there. But yeah, like later on, studies took a major role. I used to study. Yeah, so education was important. So magic, it took a back seat. Yeah, it was just a hobby for me then.
सो आपके पेरेंट्स ने कभी पुश किया कि नहीं ये प्रोफेशन नहीं हो सकता, आपको रेगुलर डिग्री करनी ही पड़ेगी, उसके बाद आप सोच सकते हैं इसके बारे में?
प्रोफेशन का बात तो बाद में आया. अर्लियर आई रिमेंबर आई यूज्ड टू मेक अ लिस्ट, लाइक क्या क्या करूंगा मैं. लाइक आई यूज्ड टू मेक हैरी पॉटर का क्रेज था दैट टाइम.
Right.
सो आई ओपन अ स्कूल, आई टीच मैजिक लाइक दैट ना. सो दैट वाज काइंड ऑफ अ चाइल्डिश स्टफ, और पेरेंट्स के लिए भी इट वाज लाइक जस्ट अ हॉबी.
श्योर.
So I started doing mechanical engineering. Okay, and in college I used to perform for friends, few of my friends. Then I got a job in Pune, and here when I came to Pune, I got a lot of opportunities here. Like I used to perform for offices. Then I used to perform for school children, NGOs, and I also got a payment from there as well. Then I understood, oh my God, you get paid for this as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Then after that, like I already told you, like I got placed in a refinery in MP. So that was a drastic difference that I got. So what happened is in Pune, I used to perform for college, for officers, for schools. Then I moved to Pune, Bina, MP, in a refinery, where it was more work oriented because of obviously in refinery it's like a lot of risk element in it, right? So you have to work very seriously. So back of the mind, I was like, I want to perform, right? So that drove me towards this. Like I have to take this as a profession because I see a lot of performers like David Blaine. You've heard of David Blaine, right?
Yes.
He is the very first street magician who brought street magic to television. So I was really inspired by that. So I think he's getting paid for that. A lot of magicians in India are getting paid for that. Why don't I do this as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took that decision, but of course, it took a lot of convincing. Like I used to like it took 1 year, almost a year, to convince my parents, and then I started doing that.
And now we see all your magic tricks happening on Instagram. At least that's where I found it and
That's
found
the
it very,
latest trend, yes.
Yes, exactly. But before we go there, I also want to understand from you, Kunal, from what I understand and a little bit that I was reading about mentalism, a lot of it is to do with body cues.
Body language, yeah.
And just tell me a little bit about that, and I'll tell you where I'm coming from, which is, these are things that even in regular life will help even general people. Like for example, I can tell you about myself, which is we do a lot of hiring, right? And very often you don't know when someone is really telling you the truth about the work they've done or not done.
Of course.
With experience, of course, you figure it out.
Of
But
course.
are there any specific body cues, that you have noticed which are very drastic and people can also see and in a way then get that distinction between someone is really truthful, are they lying, are they manipulating, what's going on?
Yes, I'll tell you. Let me just start with this, but later on I'll tell you name of a book and name of a very interesting series where the question that you asked me, it has a lot of answers over there.
Okay.
So basically, body language plays a huge part in mentalism. So me as a mentalist, I perform to entertain people, but I use those elements in order to structure my act. For example, if you're thinking of something, so I need to understand how you think or what you think. Only then I can tell you exactly what you're thinking of. Yeah, their body language comes in. For example, I ask you to pick a playing card. Okay, you pick a playing card. You look at it. Now that card is imprinted in your mind, right? Now asking you a few questions and looking at your expressions, I can tell you what card you're thinking of.
Let's do it.
You want to see that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you even something even better.
Sure.
If that's okay.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. So since we started with cards, so I'm going to do a card trick with you.
Okay.
But this is not just any card trick. This has got a lot of deep meaning to it. Have you heard of the Japanese practice called kintsugi?
Yes, I have.
Kintsugi.
Yes.
So it's a practice where they use broken cut pottery and they repair it using very valuable elements like gold. Yeah, gold, platinum, anything valuable that's valuable. So that's why I was looking at that, no? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I also love the analogy of that. At the end of the day, I think we're all very, in our own ways, broken inside. And then just putting all of it together in gold.
We find value in it.
Yeah. And then there's no judgment, no? Because you realize all of us are the same. It's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like finding some value in flaws. So that's the main principle.
Yes.
So I'm just going to reach out to you.
Sure.
Okay. So we are going to do this way. I'm going to just do this. Just tell me stop wherever you feel like.
Stop.
Right, yeah? Okay, you're going to remember this card. It doesn't matter if I say it because we're going to do something different. It's not that kind of trick where you choose a card and I tell what it is. It's a King of
Hearts.
Hearts. So in a moment, you're going to make this card very special. Okay?
Okay.
So take the pen. Okay. Just write your name on the card.
Okay.
Just nice and big.
Like all over?
Yeah, all over, nice and big.
Okay.
You can use the bottom part as well. Write something else. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep the pen with you. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. So I see that you wrote your full name in it, right?
Hanji.
Full name in it. Pragya Mishra. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Pragya Mishra. This is a King of Hearts. Remember the King of Hearts, okay? So I'm going to take this Now we're going to choose one more card. Okay, so we're going to need 2 cards for this. Okay, just tell me stop one more time.
Stop.
Yeah, right here. Okay, this is the card. Now you're going to take this and you're going to write name of a person very important to you. And like last time, you use the entire space.
Okay.
Perfect.
Done.
So cap the pen first. Yeah, I'll take that. Perfect. Okay, so we have one that has got, whose name is this?
Kamlesh, Daji.
Sorry?
His name is Daji. He's an important person to me. He's
Important.
my guru.
Your guru.
Yes,
Mr.
my
Kamlesh.
spiritual guru.
And the other card has your
My
sign,
name.
your name on it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what we are going to do is we're going to take these 2 cards.
Okay.
So Pragya, Mishra, and just a second, these 2 cards. Okay. Yeah, this is Kamlesh,
Daji.
Daji.
Yes.
Right? With these 2 cards, let's place the rest aside. Okay. So watch. So in life, we face a lot of problems.
Yes.
Right? And it kind of cracks us just like this, just like the pottery. Right? Just like this playing card. These 2 playing cards. Right?
Yeah.
And you can see cracks in it just like this.
Yeah.
And sometimes the problems are so big that sometimes it even tears us.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does, right? It does. Now, this is where kintsugi comes in. So, like we said, the cracks are repaired using very valuable stuff like gold. And in this case, it's love, inspiration, togetherness. Yeah? Just like that, using all those precious stuff,
Yes.
what we can do is we can try to repair those cracks just like this.
Wow.
Just like this. Yeah.
This is really
So
cool.
now this is Mr. Kamlesh.
Yes.
Yeah. And the other one is
Me.
You. And you repair it in a very special way so that it can be remembered for a long time and it becomes very valuable.
Nice. This is really cool. Yeah.
And this one is for you.
Thank you so much. I'm going to remember this. I absolutely love this. So it's half and half. And yeah, it also signifies a lot of how I think about my spiritual practice, that we're all one. And, it's like the ocean where you are the drop and the drop is also the ocean.
Wonderful. Amazing.
It's so this is going to mean a lot to me.
Great,
Thank you.
great.
But yeah, so coming back to
The body language. Body
yes.
language. Like I had said, there are a lot of things that I get to know when I'm performing. Even while calling out someone on the stage, I have to see who is the proper one who will give a maximum entertainment on the stage. I need that, right? I need that. I get paid for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I was saying, there is a very interesting book called Alan Pease, Body Language by Alan Pease. You can refer that. And there was a series called Lie to Me.
Oh yes.
Lie to Me. So that person uses the body language to understand what kind of reactions, micro expressions the person is giving, to study, to help the officials to catch criminals. So yeah, and that is an exaggerated version, but we use that a lot of times in our lives as well.
Yeah.
For example, when you're speaking to someone in a group, somewhat subconsciously you get to know when the other person is feeling bored. Yeah. So how do we do that? Subconsciously, we look at their body language. We get a sense of their body language, and we understand. We are all subconsciously trained to do that. We just need to practice it more.
And so, intuition, I'm sure, also has a lot to do with it. So, how did you develop this sense of intuition? Is it something you feel people can sharpen, or it's just something either you have it, you have that gut feel, or you don't? Or
Whenever it happens, I used to think it as a coincidence. We all do, right? But yeah, when you're in it for a long time, you do get a sense of things that's about to happen. You do get a sense.
So give me an example, something that happened from your life which will help us understand this.
I have a very simple example. For example, I just ask you to think of a card, and that card happens to be on the top of the pack or the bottom of the pack. Yeah. So that it is a coincidence, but if it happens twice or thrice, because it has happened to me, it kind of becomes an intuition thing. It kind of, you can put it like that subconsciously I knew what the bottom card is, and subconsciously I influenced you to think of that card.
Yeah.
Because in a lot of acts I do use a lot of influence. I do it in a funny way. I tell them that I'm influencing them, so that they think like, no, you can't influence me, but in a way I do.
So tell me more about that, because that's again a life skill which we all want. We all want the things we want from when we are kids. We want to influence our parents so we can get that toy or be able to go out for that holiday. And then later on, as we grow up, we want that job and we want to be able to also influence rooms and create an impact and for people to listen to us, or at least get us to do what we want. Are there any tips and tricks that you can share with us that we can at least use in our lives?
You have to practice that. That's a skill actually. There are a lot of people who are very good at influencing. Like not, I do it for entertainment. It's a specific thing that I do, just towards one direction. But overall, if you see, there are people who are very good at influencing others. They have a way of doing things. Yeah. So that is all practice. That is all practice. They develop the personality that way, so that when you talk to them, you get into, like, you do what they want you to do.
Yeah, you get sucked in.
Sucked in, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
And tell me, what do you do? Let's say if it's a stage performance like the one you spoke about and you tried a trick and it failed, how do you deal with that? Has it happened to you?
Yeah, it happens. So there are two things that might happen. One is something that is unexpected. Okay. But one is something that unexpected. One is something that is expected. For the expected one, I do have backups. Because doing shows since a very long time, I do have backups for that. For the unexpected thing, let me tell you something very interesting. The audience present there, they love when a trick fails. That's the favorite plot for them.
That's why, because we are waiting. You're the star, and we in some way will get a kick if you are not able to guess the right
That
card, because we're
happens.
waiting for that.
And when you turn it around, that becomes even more interesting. So I do that a lot on the stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's typically the way you deal with a failure, or well, not exactly a failure, but a trick that didn't really work for you.
Yeah, of course. Because it becomes even more better. It's a different layer to it. Yeah. It failed. Everyone thinks it's failed. It's gone. It's wrong. It's terrible. Then you turn the tables around.
So do you have an anecdote in your mind where something like this happened, where you sort of really wowed the crowd?
I actually use that plot a lot. So since I said the audience love when you fail, I deliberately fail sometimes. I deliberately do that. And I add a different layer to it. So that, yeah.
That's very interesting. Tell me a little bit more about just mentalism as a field, right? Of course, now we're hearing a lot about it, but as you rightly mentioned, it's been here for years. I remember, like you said, even I got exposed to magic when you went for a Mela. So I'm from Jaipur, and my father had a farm in Savai Madhopur, and we'd often go, and there'd be, these gypsies roaming around with all of the big tents and jokers, and you'd go to the local village and go in and look at the the Mela. PC Sarkar was at that time a big
Big name, yeah.
name, and then his son, I think, was also a
Junior,
magician.
yeah,
Yes,
Picture
his junior. And I remember that was the fad, right? That's what you thought about magic at that point, where you got into a sort of a box, and then they would just cut
in
you
half,
into half,
yeah.
and then bring
Join
you
it.
back, right?
So I did the miniature version of that.
Yes, exactly, with these cards, yes. So, that is what we thought, or at least that's what I come with when I think about magic and magicians. But mentalism is similar, but has more layers to it. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, like I already had said, like we constantly have to keep on developing based on the audience's taste. So right now, people are doing it. The trick that you say, people are still doing it. But for me, it was like it was too much to carry. Yeah. For example, if someone calls me for a performance, I have to carry a truckload of stuff for that. Yeah, of course, big boxes. So when I am performing, I just have this, a small box. That's it. Because everything I do is in the audience's mind. So mentalism, it's a branch that came out from magic, right? So basically, it's illusion of the mind. It uses the skills and principles that is used in magic, but uses it for a different purpose. Uses it to understand what other people are thinking and reveal them for the sake of other people's entertainment. Yeah. So it becomes very compact because all you are using are a few paper, pen, and the audience's mind. So that's the entire show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do something? Should we try something about you reading my mind? Or should we wait?
Let me think. So I want to try something with you, but for that I want you to think of something right now. Okay, I want you to think of. Do you like traveling?
I love traveling.
I want to think of your favorite holiday destination. So do you have something in mind?
Yes.
All right. So keep that in your mind.
Okay.
And we're going to write it down as a proof. Give me this source. So this. Yeah. Perfect. So do not show it to me. Do not show it to the camera. Keep it to yourself and write it down.
Okay.
Done?
Yeah.
Keep that thought in your mind.
Okay.
When was the last time you visited this place?
Last year.
Last year. Okay, look at me. India abroad, look at me. This is somewhere within the country, right?
No.
No, it's abroad. Okay. So we're going to hold on to that thought.
Okay.
We're going to hold on to that thought.
Okay.
Let's take some time. Yeah. I need
Happy to.
No, do
No,
not
no,
show
I'm not showing
do
it
not
to you.
show it.
No.
Do not show it.
I'll keep it here. I'll keep it.
Do not show it to me. You can put it on the table face down.
Yes, I'll put it here so you can't see it. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So let's move on. We're going to try this in some time. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Whenever you're
There's something
comfortable.
there, an information, which you're going to try.
Yeah, no, and I'm sure you just met me, so you need some time to warm up as well. So
In the meantime,
Huh?
this is a prediction that I had made. Yeah.
Really?
So you're going to keep it with you.
Okay.
We're going to do this in some time.
Amazing. This is very cool.
Yeah. That's a prediction.
Tell me also, as we were talking about body language, similarly, you spoke a lot about mind reading, right? And I think that's also a very important. I remember when I was a kid and somebody asked me, what's the one superpower you would want to have? And most times people, huh?
Read someone's mind.
Yes, most people are like read someone's mind because we all think that that is where the secret to success lies. Because if you're able to read people's mind, you're able to sort of predict what they want. And I think generally, if you're a people pleaser, you feel like that's it, I've nailed it, right? Because now I know what people want.
Yeah.
Anything that you can share with us that has helped you really be in that moment and sort of read people's minds? And I'm not saying, give your secrets away, but I think these are the things that really make it very interesting when people think about mentalism. How do you do this? Oh my God, like we want to know, how do you do these things? What's behind a lot of this?
Basically, you have to be you have to be very observant with stuff, very observant, like what's happening around you, so that you can get a perfect read of that. So that's how I practice. I practice the things that I read a lot of books. So based on these body language, mind reading. So when I read, I have to practice it. So I practice it around us. So like I said, I told you the name of a book called Alan Pease, Body Language. So there they said how to practice it properly. Whenever you're at a railway station or at the airport, you observe people and in your mind make a narrative of what they are thinking or what they are talking about. Yeah. So that's a very good way of practicing. So you have an idea of what the conversation is going on, looking at the expressions. So basically, that's a very good way of practicing.
Which was the most fun experience for you? I've seen you have interact with many celebrities, people from different walks of life. What's been a really fun experience for you? Something that you can take me back to, and maybe, top 3 or whatever, how you want to say it. And what was fun about it for you?
It was a trick
Okay.
where Mr. Kapil Dev was thinking of a food, and I was supposed to take that food out from a bag
Huh.
and something different came out.
Oh.
Yeah. And later on, from inside that object came the food that Kapil Dev was thinking of.
Oh. Nice.
That was
Okay.
a twist.
Delayed gratification.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Anything else that you can think of which was really cool for you?
I do stuff where I. Okay, so this incident happened when some people, I called out some people, and they were like, "You are going to read my mind right now." Yeah. So there are 4 people on the stage, and I gave them my phone, and they unlocked my phone.
What?
Yeah. So that was really fun.
They must have been blown away.
Blown away. So I was thinking of my password, and I was like, I'm going to influence you to influence you with a few numbers. Whatever comes to your mind, just type in, and it unlocked.
And so tell me, is this something that you feel you learned over a period of time just because you were interested and you were committed to it? Or
Yes.
is it something that you felt you just have a knack for?
No, I do not have a knack for this. It's totally based on interest, like you said. Uh, Let me put it this way. I get a lot of calls of people telling me like, मुझे ये trick सिखा दो, वो trick सिखा दो, है ना? Now, there are a lot of things which are already on YouTube right now. When I was a kid, if I were to see a trick, if I were to learn it, I did not have internet back then.
Oh.
Yeah. So we used to like read books. So I used to buy books from the market, and I had that trick in mind. So I used to look for that trick. Now, even if you find it or do not find it, you read that book, right?
Yeah.
So you gain that knowledge. Yeah. So I learned it that way. So I kept on learning. So if you have that interest, you will, and I read 1 book, 2 book, 3 book. At one point of time, I found that trick that I wanted to learn. And while the process of learning that trick, I learned tens or hundreds different things. Yeah. So that is the interest. So that is how interest and my craze helped me to learn what I am doing right now.
And so, therefore, how do you feel when a lot of this, like for example, we also had I had a Jyotish Pandit Katti ji on our show, and he made a prediction about who's going to win the 2024 elections. And I know while astrology is also very rooted in science, and there's a lot of movements of planets, and that's how they really make these predictions. How would you make a prediction? Is it more on intuition?
Being an engineer, I use a lot of techniques. Magic in itself is a very complex science and engineering. Okay. So how do I put this without revealing it? So basically it's a different, using different techniques, engineering techniques, science techniques. Okay. Magic is a field where everything is applied. Science is applied, physics is applied, chemistry is applied, psychology is applied, and using all those principles, we create a situation, kind of an illusion, where for you it is, yeah, that prediction came true, right? So it's kind of an illusion. That's why magic is called an illusion. For example, you have an envelope over there, and you do not know what that is. Now a person comes to me and says that, Kunal, how do you do magic? I say, like, see, there are multiple possibilities. One, that I actually read minds. Yeah. Second is I travel to the future, and it's quite illogical. I travel to the future, look back, and see exactly what you might say or think. And third, like I say, it's on an illusion. Yeah. Now, I have a book here. Okay. So in a book, there are around, this has around 150 pages. And if you have an average of around 500 words in one page, that's somewhere around 80,000, 9,000, let's say 1 lakh words in this entire book. So in a moment, what you're going to do is, you're going to choose one page from this book. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to riffle down like this. Just tell me stop wherever you feel like. Just
Stop.
right here. I'm going to place it inside. I'm going to show you that page. So what you're going to do is, you're going to remember the page number. Okay. Not the heading. Just the first word on that page. The first word of the very first line. I'm going to show you that page. Look at it. You can come closer if you want. Remember the page number?
Yeah.
Remember the very first word on that page.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yes.
I'm going to close it, and once it's closed, it's done. Huh?
Okay.
You remember it, right?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Now, you have a page number in your mind and a word in your mind. Okay, so right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get inside your head right now. So clear everything except, yeah, and you're going to hold on to this for a second. Okay. Now you're thinking of one specific word,
Yes.
yeah, from that book.
Yes.
Think about it. Think about how you feel thinking about that word. If it's an object, imagine you holding that. It is not something that you can hold, right? It's I'm getting a sense of an emotion, a feeling. Look at me. Remember the last time you felt this? Amazing. Quite a long time back, right?
Yes.
Good. It's a negative emotion.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to write the name of the emotion, okay? Not as a verb, but just the emotion, okay? I'm going to think of that emotion. I've written down something over here.
Okay.
Can you tell me and everyone what that emotion is? The emotion that you're thinking of right now?
Anger. Awesome. Oh my God. This blew my mind.
And what was the word? Was it anger or angry?
Angry.
Angry. Okay. So the emotion is anger. And the word you're thinking of is angry,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Now that strikes off the first thing, that I actually read minds. Yeah. Now the second thing was I make predictions. Yeah. And the prediction is already with you. And third thing was it's all an illusion. So let's combine those things. Pragya, you already have that prediction. Pragya, do you remember the page number the word angry was at?
Yeah, I do.
What was it?
Should I tell you?
Yeah?
90.
90. Okay. I just need to confirm. Just open to page number 90 and show me the word angry.
Okay. What? It's not there. What did you do with it? Where's it gone? This is insane. You showed me the page. It's not here.
Like I said, it's all an illusion.
It really is.
And you have an envelope with you.
Yeah?
You had that book with you. You had the envelope with you. I haven't touched anything.
No.
Take the envelope out. Open it up. There's something inside. What is it?
It's exactly that page.
Page number?
90.
Can you just confirm if it's the same page from that same,
And if it fits?
if it fits, yeah?
Okay, this is insane. I'm going to take you with me everywhere.
It exactly fits, right?
Yeah, it does. You've blown my mind. Wow. You did this right in front of us. I mean, there are no tricks. He did this in front of us. There's no break. There's nothing. This is like absolutely live. This is pretty cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and I'm feeling like I'm in control. And yet you were able to read everything. You were able to create this illusion, not just for me, for everyone in this room.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Wow. Okay. This is amazing. And you just did it, just sitting here so coolly, calmly.
That's my job actually.
How did you really create this illusion? Don't give me all your secrets, but give me at least one, because it was really cool.
I'm not supposed to do that. I'll be out of business soon.
That's also true.
And गालियाँ तो बहुत पड़ने वाली है.
हाँ, वो तो है. But not of this, but just something, why I'm asking you is because it creates intrigue. Think about anything else. It doesn't have to be, you could maybe just tell me about a simple card trick or anything that people can learn. Any sort of trick you can teach us. I think people will find
Right
that
now?
very curious.
Right now?
Yeah, maybe right now.
Okay. Is it okay if I teach a card trick?
Yeah, please.
I'm going to perform it first for you. Then I'm going to teach it to you. If that's okay.
Yes.
All right. So
Guys,
Pragya,
brace yourself.
yeah,
Okay.
just touch any one of the cards. Just take one out. Now, look at it, remember it, Show it to the camera, show it to everyone. Do not show it to me. Okay?
Okay.
It's very important to not show it to me.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to take that. I'm not going to look at it. Without looking at it, I'm just going to place it right inside the pack. Just like this. Yeah.
Okay.
It's gone. Lost inside the pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm going to take this deck behind my back.
Okay.
I'm going to find your card.
Okay.
In, let's say, 3 seconds. Is it
Okay.
possible?
No.
No, not possible, right?
Not possible.
You said it.
Yes.
So, okay. 1, 2, and 3. There you go. I did something in 3 seconds, even less than 3 seconds.
Yeah.
What I did was I went through the pack, I took out your card, turned it face up, and placed it back in the pack.
Okay.
That sounds crazy, right?
It does.
But you can see in this pack, you can see all the cards are facing towards you, right?
Yeah.
Except for one card.
Yes.
That's the only card that's face down.
Yes.
What was your card?
Queen of Hearts. Yes. Less than 3 seconds. You're right.
That's 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to teach this to you, but you know what happens when I teach someone a trick? They say,
It was
Yeah.
that simple. Bus.
Yeah.
Yahi tha.
"Yahi tha." Yeah. So that's going to happen to you. But you need to understand the principle behind it. The person who thought about this, that this is going to work this way, that is quite interesting actually. Yeah. Even though it's a simple thing. Now, until I do not explain it to you, you're still mesmerized. Like, kaise ho sakta hai? You know, it's magic for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's learn this.
But I also think it's about life is similar, no? When you know it, you feel like, अरे इतना obvious था, ये मेरे को मैं सोच नहीं पाई.
Yeah.
And then before that, it drives you crazy to get that solution or get that answer out of your life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a regular deck of cards. So basically how this works is while talking to you,
Yeah.
what I do is I just take one card and turn it face up. That's it. Simple.
Oh.
Okay. Now you can do it this way without them looking, or you can do it like I did. Like this is the sleight of hand. This is just doing this.
Ah.
So what I'm doing is I'm just
Keep
holding
holding
the
onto
bottom
the-
card
yeah.
and just turning the entire thing over. Yeah. So this is the first step. Now you take the card. Okay.
Yeah.
10 of hearts. And while you're looking at the card, while you're showing everyone, you just turn this around.
Oh.
Okay. Now you place this inside. Now while going behind your back, what you do is you take the top card, turn it face up, and the entire thing like this.
Nice.
Crazy simple.
Yeah.
Now if you look at it, there is only one card that is facing the other way. That's a 10 of hearts. Yeah.
Neat.
You can try it.
Very neat. This was awesome.
Yeah.
I've learned something new. I'm going to go back home and show this to my nephew and nieces who are going to be like, wow.
Practice before you perform. Always.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try something. One more thing. There's something I especially prepared. There's a question mark. There's something inside this. And we're going to look at it in some time. Okay.
Okay.
Before that, we're going to create a random number. Okay. So in the meantime, think of any 3-digit number. Any 3 that comes to your mind. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Pragya, I'm going to give you this phone. You have a 3-digit number in your mind, right?
Yes.
Just without showing anyone, just type it.
Okay.
Do not show it to anyone. Multiply.
Okay.
Maybe another 3-digit.
Okay.
Multiply.
Okay.
We have a random number.
Yes.
Can you show it to me?
Yes.
Show it to everyone. Okay. Now, let's say another 3-digit number. Type it.
I delete this.
No. Just type it. You multiplied it, right?
Yeah.
Type it.
Multiply it and type it.
Type it. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you show that to me?
Yeah.
Multiply. Yeah. Can you? So you have a random number, right?
Huh.
Now, lastly, I want you to name any 2-digit number.
Okay.
Name it.
25.
25. So you have a very big number over here.
Yes.
Okay. What is it?
400,000. It's very large. 4 crores, something lakhs.
40
56,000.
Okay.
Huh.
4005610.
Yeah.
As simple as that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to remember this number. Okay.
What?
No.
Okay, wait. I can
as
remember
in,
it.
like, you hold on to this. And so do not delete it. That's what I meant to say.
I got it. Okay.
So that's a very huge number that you just created.
Yes.
Randomly 3 digit, or lastly 2 digit. There is no way anyone could have known, even you couldn't have known that you'd land at this number.
No.
Right?
No.
And you made all the decisions. Right?
Yes.
Starting from the 3 digit to the 2 digits. Okay. Now remember, I kept something over here.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Yeah, I kept something over there.
Is it going to be that number?
There's something inside this. Can you tell me what is the first digit?
4
Okay. Then
0 0 5 6 0 1 0.
there you go.
Wow.
And Pragya, let me tell you one thing. The numbers that you chose initially were special numbers, because multiplying all those numbers, we landed to that number, right?
Yeah.
And this is that number. And this is not just any number. If I turn it this way,
Oh my God. This is insane.
what does this say?
Pragyaan. It's the same sheet with these numbers, which he just inverted, and it says Pragyaan.
And this one is for you. You can keep that.
Thank you. This is super special.
And I'll have my phone back.
No, this I'm gonna take. Amazing. And you had that kept already. You had this written down.
Yeah, it was with you.
Yes. Wow, Kunal. I'd be scared of you. With so many things that you've got right. Okay, awesome. This is really, really nice. I'm going to keep this. This is all going to be very special for me.
Thank you.
Wow. And I've learned a trick as well. Can I put this in here as well?
Yeah, that's all for you.
Amazing. Amazing. So are we going to do the city trick now?
We're going to do it in some time, yeah.
You're getting warmed up. You're getting
Yeah,
to
I'm
know
gonna warm
me
up,
and
yeah.
now figure out where this is going.
It starts with an M, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's continue.
Starts with an M. You're getting there. Oh my God. This was crazy. And what I loved, the magic and the entertainment side of you, that it had Pragyaan on the other side. This is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to go out of this room feeling like I don't have, like almost you have a peep into my mind. Is that what it is?
Kind of, you can say that.
And is that a skill you can learn?
Yes, you can, yeah.
And has magic taught you that?
Yeah, I learned it. I started developing from magic itself, right?
Wow. No, I'm actually spellbound. That's why I don't know what the next question should be, because I'm just
Take your time.
blown away
Take your time.
with what you just did. Because these are numbers which I thought of, I multiplied. It's not like you even made a suggestion on what that should be. I'm sure I'll think back and figure, is there some formula to this? But I'm sure there isn't, because it's very random. But whatever you did was very, very cool, and I'm certainly blown away. Tell me, if people there are kids who are maybe looking at this, or you have, I have my nephew and nieces. We all are enamored by magic when we are growing up, just like you were. But more often than not, we are always told, this is just entertainment. Like, keep it to that level, have a good time, and then move on.
Okay.
Are there any life skills that children are learning when they learn magic, which then helps them
Yes,
be
of course.
more intuitive, better at their job, or just be better human beings?
Yes, of course. That has happened to me. So when I started out, when I initially was growing up, I am actually a very introverted person from the very beginning. So speaking to someone, I used to get the chills. Yeah. And especially speaking in English. School mein hota hai na, speak in English. So I could not do that. Yeah. Even though I used to write a lot of things, I used to get good marks in it, but speaking was a very difficult task for me. Even when I got a job, I started working. Even then, it was a big thing for me. But when I started performing, so basically, when you start performing, you make scripts. You make scripts and you start performing, right? Now you have an English script and you started performing, and the samne wala person, he talks to you in English. You have to reply, and when you're performing, you have to be open. So that developed the personality kind of. It had a personality development thing to me. So slowly, right now, like I'm talking, I couldn't do that. I couldn't even imagine me talking like this. So basically, it built my personality. It built my speaking skills. It built my people skills, because I used to take calls of clients as well, inquiries, calls, and all. I used to talk to people. So basically, the more you practice, the better you become. So basically, performing magic, it builds your personality, because, like I said, magic is something that is to be performed for people. You cannot do it in your home. You have to go out of your comfort zone and perform for the people. So that develops your personality. So that is a skill that can be taught in schools, because when a kid is asked to perform magic, he's not like zipped silent and just doing things. He has to speak. He or she has to speak, talk. So that develops the personality.
Also, it gives you a chance to showcase something.
Exactly.
And so a lot of the other skills come together.
Stage fright was a big thing for me. But when I'm doing something that is of my interest, I love to do that. Now, stage fright, if someone tells me to go on a stage and give a presentation, I'll be like scared. But someone tells me to go and on the stage and perform a magic, I'll be confident, because I am interested in that. I like doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Also, like you were saying, it builds a lot of confidence, and that I think today you need.
Yeah.
I heard Mahendra Singh Dhoni say in one of the conversations where he said, if I have a skilled player and I have a confident player, I'll choose the confident player because I know he or she will go out and perform for me.
Of course.
And, be confident. So that's a very important life skill.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Uh, are there any certain ethical considerations that you keep in mind when you think about the tricks you perform or the mentalism that you do?
Yes, we have to keep ethics in mind. End of the day, you are on the stage entertaining the people, right? You have to have your audience in mind. You have to constantly keep on researching what the people might like or might not like. That's the ethics that we have to have. And whenever you are calling someone on the stage, for you, audience, it's everything. They should not feel any kind of embarrassment, any kind of regret that they came to stage. End of the day, they have to walk out of the stage feeling entertained. So that is the only thing that I try to maintain.
And what I also mean by ethics is, like manipulation is okay, but what about, would you outright lie about things, because that is where ethics come. A lot of times we find, or magicians are put in a category of, okay, like these are just, it's just hoax. It's a lot of like like Jumba Wumba that you're doing. Of course, that's not the case because it's deeply rooted in science, from what I understand from you. And I've seen it for myself. Like you've just done all of this, so it cannot be just some wow which is happening, right? There has to be something more to it. So, are there any clear lines which you will never cross?
Yeah, I totally got what your question is right now. So there is a very interesting statement in the series Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibilities. I can read your mind, right? I can find out ways to read your mind. But am I going to do that? No. Only if I have your consent, only if you want to be entertained, I'm going to do that, right?
Yeah.
When people call me on the stage, they have a mindset that they are going to be Mentalist is coming on the stage and we are going to be entertained. right? So you have to keep that thought in mind. There are a lot of ways, magicians especially, they are what do you say, very jugadu people, very jugadu, because like I said, it uses a lot of engineering principles, a lot of other sciences. So basically, you can do anything, anything. Going into superstition, you can see a lot of people robbing other people using simple magic tricks. There's a very interesting movie, I think, yeah, Amitabh Bachchan was a part of it, called Jadugar. You've seen that?
Yes.
Where the villain, he's a Baba. He does this and produces something. And Amitabh says, ये तो मैं भी कर सकता हूँ. Yeah, it's the same principle, but using in a different way. This person is using to entertain people, the other person is using the same thing to rob other people. So you have to have that line, because if you can do it, it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean you have to do it. You have to keep that thought in your mind. You are there to entertain people, not to rob them, not to take their advantage.
Absolutely. Absolutely thrilling to have this conversation with you, to see you do these tricks live. I have been to magic shows earlier. In fact, my first exposure was also in Vegas when I went and saw a show, and the guy made a tiger disappear from the stage.
Whose show was it?
His name was David Copperfield.
David Copperfield, yeah, yeah.
And I recall we were in Vegas and he actually made the tiger disappear from the stage. And then at some point in the news, I read about the fact that he made it reappear on some street in Vegas. So it was like crazy stuff.
So not only tiger, I have not seen it. I have not seen the show, but I have seen snippets of it. He makes a dinosaur appear on the stage.
What?
Dinosaur. T-Rex. That is crazy. That is crazy. And there is also one very interesting illusion that he does. So basically what happens is he calls a few people on the stage, puts them in a box, and just a puff of smoke, and including the magician, everyone disappears. Okay. And that the same group with the magician, they appear on the other side of the world in an island.
At the same time?
At the same time, it's a live recording. They see the people on the stage, they appear over there. Now, this illusion was so impactful that it inspired a very famous scene in the movie Now You See Me. If you have seen that, there is a scene where a person disappears from the stage and appears inside a bank vault.
Yes, I remember.
So that is a scene inspired from real show. It's crazy.
This is almost like, how in Star Trek, I don't know if you, I'm a big fan of Star Trek.
Teleportation. Yeah.
Exactly. Like Scotty beam me to...
Beam me, yeah.
to Mars, So this is literally that.
Yeah. It's really inspiring. That person is also very inspiring. I forgot to mention, like when I was looking towards like taking this as a profession, I saw this person as well. So this David Copperfield is one of the richest magicians in the world. Being in a profession that people tell that this cannot be a profession, this guy being in a profession, he is one of the richest magicians in the world. He has his own personal island. It's called the Copperfield Bay. It's in Hawaii.
Incredible.
He did all by doing magic. So I was really inspired from David Copperfield. There was a person called Chris Angel during my time. He was like over the top energy. Okay, that's nice. And during recent times, there's Dynamo, which the kids nowadays, they know. But yeah, there's Dynamo. And anyone in this field who's doing successfully, I really look up to them. Yeah.
Rightly so, and I'm sure there are a few people who are also looking up to you. So
I hope so, and I hope I'm giving a good example by doing what I do.
You are. I mean, all the crazy stuff you showed us today was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, but Pragya, right now, do you remember I asked you to think of a city?
Yes.
It could have been any city in the entire world.
Yes.
Now you told me like, can you read minds? I already showed you something, but let's try to get even more deeper to see the process that you think of. Now, initially, I'm getting a sense you thought of two names. I saw you writing two names, right? Two names. So initially you were like thinking of a place that's quite far, maybe abroad. Yeah. But you change your mind and was like, no, बाहर की जगह को क्यों इतना इम्पोर्टेंस देना, अपनी जगह को देते. You're thinking of something that is local. Yeah, is that true?
Yes.
Is that true? Yeah. Now let me see. Were you by any chance initially thinking of London?
My God. Spot on.
Yeah, London.
Yes, I was.
Now this is the tricky part. You change your mind to a different place. Now let me see if I can catch that from you. Have you been to this place?
Yes.
Okay. Now I get it. You are like going towards the roots, grounds, to a place where you have been for a long time. I remember during our talks you mentioned the name of a place where you used to go to melas, and I believe it was Jaipur.
That's right.
Thinking of Jaipur?
Yes. You're absolutely right. Those are the two city names I wrote. It's right here. Yeah, well, no, you can't read it, but yeah, it's London and Jaipur. I think we're going to keep calling you back because this is so much fun. I
It
can
is,
do
right?
this all day.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what am I thinking now, Kunal? Will you guess it for me? But this was, yeah, these were the two cities. Amazing.
Thank you.
Awesome. I can literally do this all day. Yeah. No, I was because Jaipur is where I come from.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
my
why.
happy place.
That's why I said grounded
Yeah, yeah. And the roots.
roots. Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks a ton.
Thank you so
so much. You've been actually a true entertainer. Out and out. You've blown our minds away. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Great.